Welcome to Jailer. Today we are going to discuss some important previous year questions regarding Virginia Woolf. We all know that Virginia Woolf is a very important modernist writer. So we will discuss some questions regarding her important works. Okay. The first question. Which of the following lines by Shakespeare is repeated several times in Virginia Woolf's novel, Mrs. Dalloway? Okay. So the question is to identify which lines by Shakespeare are used in Virginia Woolf's Mrs. Dalloway a number of times, okay? Not just one time, more than one time, okay? So the options are, option A, quote, if music be the food of love, play on, unquote. Option B, quote, fear no more the heat of the sun, nor the furious winter's rages, unquote. Option C, quote, those are pearls that were his eyes, unquote. Option D, quote, there is a tide in the affairs of man, unquote. So you just have to identify which lines are taken from Shakespeare by Virginia Woolf in order to use in Mrs. Dalloway. So let's quickly check the answer. So option B is the answer. Quote, fear no more the heat of the sun, nor the furious winter's rages. Okay, so these lines are from William Shakespeare's Cymbeline. Okay, so these lines are taken from William Shakespeare's Cymbeline, and it is used a number of times in Virginia Woolf's Mrs. Dalloway. Okay, now we are going on to the second question. Virginia Woolf's To the Lighthouse has a tripartite structure. The three parts are named the following except. So, they are talking about Woolf's To the Lighthouse, okay? And it has a tripartite structure. That is, it has three parts. That's the meaning of that word, okay? So, you have to identify which are the names of these three parts and which does not come as a part in this book, in the book To the Lighthouse. That is, the answer should be which is the odd one out, okay? So, the options are the sky, option A, the sky, option B, the window, option C, time passes, option D, the lighthouse. You just have to identify which is not the name of the three parts in To the Lighthouse. Let's quickly take a glance at the answer. So, option A is the answer, the sky. Okay, the sky is not one of the parts that is included in To the Lighthouse. The three parts of this novel are, which are the three parts? The window, time passes, and To the Lighthouse. Okay, those are the three parts that come in To the Lighthouse. Okay, and the particular title of the work, that is To the Lighthouse, it comes as the third part in this work. Okay. Let's go on to the third question. In which novel of Virginia Woolf does a painter in the act of painting actually figure as a character? So, the question is to identify the work in which a painter is painting a character in the novel itself. And that painter itself is a character. Okay? Do you get the point? That is, a painter in the act of painting actually figure as a character. So, this painter who is painting, that painter itself is a character in this novel. Okay. So, you have to identify in which novel this particular instance takes place. Okay. Option A, The Voyage Out. Option B, The Waves. Option C, Jacob's Room. Option D, To the Lighthouse. Okay. You just have to identify in which work the painter is a character. Let's just quickly look at the answer. It is option D, To the Lighthouse. Okay, the previous question also that we were discussing, that is also regarding the same novel, right? To the Lighthouse. Okay, so Lily Briscoe is the painter in this work. Okay, Lily Briscoe, and this young lady who is a painter, she is drawing a portrait of Mrs. Ramsay, who is another character in this novel, right? We know that the novel is about the Ramsay family, and the novel revolves around the Ramsay family spending their vacation in their summer house, right? So, in that, Lily Briscoe is also a very important character who is a painter drawing a portrait of Mrs. Ramsay, right? Okay, let's go to the fourth question. Virginia Woolf's Orlando opens in 1588, and Orlando, a 16-year-old boy, writes a poem called. Okay, so we are talking about Woolf's Orlando. Okay, the work Orlando, biography, right? So in Orlando, it opens in 1588, and the 16-year-old boy writes a poem. We are introduced to a poem that is written by Orlando. Okay, so you have to identify what the name of that poem is. Okay, that is the question. So the options given are: option A, the evergreen tree; option B, the poison tree; option C, the oak tree; option D, the magic tree. So let's check whether the answer you have in mind is the same. So it is option C, the oak tree. Okay, the oak tree is a poem written by Orlando, and it is featured in Woolf's work Orlando, a biography. Okay, so Orlando, it opens in 1588, and it is about a 16-year-old boy named Orlando. Okay, so let's go to the final question, the fifth question, and it is a chronology question. We know that NET exams love chronology questions, right? So let's attempt this question. Arrange the following essays by Virginia Woolf chronologically. So the question is about the essays written by Virginia Woolf. So it's not the fiction written by her, it is about the essays written by Woolf. So the works given are A Room of One's Own, 3 Guineas, Moments of Being, The Death of the Moth, and other essays. Okay, so these are some of the famous essays written by Virginia Woolf, and yeah, and the options given are as follows. So we'll try to attempt to find the chronology of these works. Okay, so we know that 3 Guineas come after A Room of One's Own, right? Because why? Because 3 Guineas, it is a sequel to A Room of One's Own. 3 Guineas is a sequel to The Room of One's Own, right? So then comes Moments of Being. Moments of Being is what is Moments of Being? This is a collection of the biographical essays written by Virginia Woolf. Okay, biographical essays written by Virginia Woolf. So I'll just show you the years of these works. Okay, A Room of One's Own, it was written in 1929. Okay, 3 Guineas comes after it because it is equal to A Room of One's Own, so it's 1938. Moments of Being was written in 1976. Okay, published in 1976. The Death of the Moth and Other Essays, published in 1942. So the first work is Room of One's Own, and the second work is 3 Guineas, and the third work is The Death of the Moth and Other Essays, and the fourth work becomes Moments of Being. Okay, right? So the answer is 1, 2, 4, 3. Okay, and don't look at these numbers. Okay, so this is the first one, right? Second, this is the order of the work, right? So when we are checking at the chronology, 1929 comes first, that is 1. Then comes 1938, that is 2. Then comes 1942, that is 4th. And then comes 1976, that is 3rd. Okay, so that is the chronology of the essays written by Virginia Woolf, and these are not the only essays written by her, right? There are many other works. The sketch and all comes in the Moments of Being itself. Okay, and then there is the Common Reader. All of these are famous essays by Virginia Woolf. Okay, so these are some important questions regarding Virginia Woolf. So if you are interested in watching informative videos like this, please do subscribe to our channel. Okay, so thank you for watching JLearn. We'll see you in the next video.